Today, Sarah and I are going to make un pollo arrosto, a roasted chicken. Let's begin by getting some of our herbs. And with the rosemary, you don't want to use that stem in the middle. You're just going to pull it back. And we probably will use one more branch. There we go. And then we will get the sage. And we'll use a good, probably 6 leaves of sage, as well as this cayenne pepper. And with the help of the mezzaluna, we're going to chop everything together. I think I'm going to put just a little bit of parsley in there as well. You can totally use a knife, but the mezzaluna is a wonderful tool where you just rock it back and forth. You know what? In order for it not to make so much noise, I will put something underneath our cutting board. This dish rag will do the trick. We'll just set it under, and now I think it's going to be more stable. Oh yes, much better. So we're just going to keep rocking it back and forth. Throw this little guy in there as well. And these herbs are going to be perfect to baste our chicken. And this part right here is extremely important to actually have a delicious roasted chicken. Look how nice and fine it is already. Now to this, we're going to add some black pepper and a nice bit of salt. A little more pepper. And we're going to keep rocking it back and forth. So I think we're good now. We can transfer this right over into this jar or this bowl. And you could also put it into a glass jar with a lid, place it in the refrigerator, and use it for potatoes or fish. But we're going to use it for a chicken. Let's get a lemon. And I'm just going to roll it a bit so it's easier to get the juice out. We could totally use a knife and cut it in half and squeeze the juice out, but I love to use this little gadget that my mom gave me. And you just place it in here, get this little top thing off, go all the way in, and then you can squeeze the lemon right into here. Juice is out. Just want to make sure that you reserve these lemons because we're going to place them inside of the chicken. And instead here, we're going to put a nice generous amount of olive oil. There. And with this, we're going to rub it all over the chicken. Check out this beautiful color. It's so vibrant, and all these spices, oh, you have no idea as to how good they smell. Now we're going to rub it all over the chicken. We're also going to go underneath the skin and inside the cavity of the chicken. And then we're going to make sure to tie these legs together so it cooks more evenly. Now inside the cavity. We'll put those lemons right in there. Flip it. Do the back side. And just massage it in there. With my hand, I'm going to lift up the skin a bit so we can actually get it underneath there as well. There we go. And we're going to put it right in here. And do this even on the other side. Let's see, probably from here is going to be the easiest way. There we go, just kind of pry it open. it's nicely loosened up. I'm also going to put it right in here. And this is going to permeate the meat. And oh boy, is it going to be good. Our chicken can now put into this food-safe container and stay in there overnight. We're also still going to put all these goodies in here that are left in this bowl. Now we don't want to lose any of these goodies that are left in here. Place it right in here. And we'll cover it up with a lid and place it in the fridge overnight. Nicely tucked away, the lid is on, and we'll place it in the fridge. So here we are the next day, and our chicken has been able to rest in the fridge all night long. Let's take it out and place it right in here. I'm gonna get some of these goodies out and still place them right inside there. And now we're going to have to tuck the wings under so that they will not burn. And the way we're going to do that is to kind of tuck them under like this. Let's see. And here, because otherwise they would burn. And then we're also going to tie the legs together. Now we're going to get some of this cooking twine. These guys together, and that will allow the chicken to cook a lot more evenly when it's nicely tucked together like this. Now we're going to put some olive oil on top. There are some lemon seeds there. We'll drizzle it some more with olive oil and place it in the oven. Let's give it a nice drizzle. And then a little bit into cooking, all the juices from the chicken and the fat from the chicken will kind of get into the bottom of the pan, and we will be able to constantly baste the top. Today we're using the wood-fired oven. We're just going to brush the bottom of the oven floor, and we're just going to need a small fire going to keep the temperature up. We're about ready to put that chicken in. Our chicken can finally go in, and we will allow the oven to do its magic. Let's close the door. As the chicken is browning for about 20-25 minutes without being covered, we're going to peel some potatoes, and we are going to place them right here in the water. And the reason is this: as they are in the water, some of the starch from the potatoes gets released, and that will cause our potatoes to get a little bit more crispy once they're in the oven. We're going to add these to the chicken towards the end. About 25 minutes have gone by. Now we're going to take it out and begin to baste it. And once we baste it, we're going to cover it up. Look how good it looks, and it smells absolutely delicious. So here, we're going to baste it everywhere, and then we have another pan that we're just going to set on top. And it's also very important to keep checking the temperature of the oven. You can regulate the heat with the damper on the chimney. All right, this guy can go back in. Now you could use a sheet of aluminum, but I have this pan. I'm just going to place it right on top and put this back inside the oven. Now with the infrared thermometer, it's very important that you check the temperature of the oven, and let's see where we're at right now. About at 434. Yeah, that's a good temperature. And the fire, as you can see, we just have hot coals going. Once in a while we'll add a small piece of wood. And then up here on the damper of the chimney, we can regulate it by this being all the way open and this kind of retaining the heat more because it's partially closed. Another way to regulate the temperature is by the way you put the door on. So this is totally closed, but if you leave it partially open like this, that will also help to regulate the temperature. Let's pour our chicken out. I'm sure you can hear it nicely sizzling in there. And it is looking mighty good. Once again, we'll baste it everywhere. You see how much of the fat from the chicken came out? Baste it nicely all over the place. And now we're going to add some white wine that we had left over, and we'll place it back into the oven. With my brush, I'm going to kind of pick up all these incredible goodies here in the bottom. That's what's going to make it so good. And then later on, we'll put the potatoes right in here. And here, back in the oven. Before we close the door, we're going to put a little piece of wood in there and let this chicken finish cooking. It is finally time to pull it out to add the potatoes. And here we go. We're going to baste it one more time, and then in this amazing reduction, we're going to place the potatoes. You guys, if we could only transfer the aroma, you would just absolutely love it. Let's get these potatoes, put them right in here. Just noticed that one of them wasn't cut. Let's get this guy out and cut it into these wedges. Now we're going to give everything a nice stir. We'll also salt them. And place it all back in the oven. Now we're going to salt our potatoes. And then give them another quick stir. As well as some aglio in camicia. The garlic with a shirt on. And boy, is that going to be good. And then here and there, I'm going to put a few sprigs of rosemary and some sage leaves as well. This guy can go back in the oven. Once again, a quick stir. Here we are, ready to put them back in the oven. In order to protect the chicken and for the potatoes to be able to brown, this time we're going to put just a bit of foil on it. And now we're ready. Towards the end, we will be able to remove the foil and allow the chicken to crisp up. Guys, I think our pollo arrosto is finally ready to come out. And look at these potatoes. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely going to be a mouth-watering lunch. And here we are ready to finally serve this beautiful roasted chicken. We're going to get the string off and the knife here. Let's see. We're going to get the string off and then we're going to cut it into sections and enjoy a most wonderful lunch. I'm actually going to try to get just a little piece out here. It is so incredibly tender and juicy and hot as well. Ooh. So good. Oh, so good. Buon appetito.